I'll give it a few seconds. Let me. Alright. So, man, where do we even begin? There's so much going on. You know what? Let me hold this. I'm on a bumpy road, so it gets a little crazy after a bit. And it's raining, so if the rain kicks up too bad, I'm going to just go ahead and shut this off, and then we'll continue it either later or tomorrow. But I will try and do as much as I can before the storm gets super bad. Hey, what's up, Brother Jack? So as I was saying, there are so much going on that I gotta start writing this stuff down, because otherwise I lose track and I forget, and then later I'm like, oh, I forgot to mention that. But so we've had the U.S. and Iran-backed Iraqi groups battling it out in eastern Syria, and I can guarantee that's over nothing more than oil, because that's pretty much, if you look at Google Maps, if you look around the areas, the places that the maps show U.S. is just around oil interests in Syria. So, although it is over as well, Iraq has given the U.S. a deadline to be out, according to the news. Notice to be out, pull out of Iraq today, or otherwise, they're going to bring the hammer down. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight in regard to that, because obviously the U.S. is not going to meet that deadline or do that deadline. You've got Lebanon, that's pretty much crumpled. And if I remember correctly, I have to look it up. I believe Lebanon is one of the countries of the Gog and Magog war. So it'll be, considering how they've pretty much fallen and crime is ruling, so to speak, and their money's worth crap. I think according to Amir Sarfati, the last time it was like 16 or 17,000, whatever they use equals $1 US or something like that. I mean, it's crap. I know donkeys last week were going for about $200, because it's easier to get around on donkey than in a car, being that they've kind of running out of gas, and it's hard for them to get new gas. So considering that I do believe they're one of the Gog and Magog countries, it'll be interesting to see who comes in to restore order there. So I'm definitely watching that. Let's see, what else has there been? Oh yeah, you've got the first transvestite deemed Miss Nevada. Yes, the news came out today and said that. The first trans was deemed Miss Nevada. Just let that sink in a minute. Just let that sink in. That's where we are, people. That is where we are. And then, of course, you've got that Laurel, whatever its name is, that's participating in the Olympics for the women's team. Yeah, that's that's the one thing that you see on the rise. The Bible said, evil would be called good and good would be called evil, and man, are we seeing that just skyrocket through the roof and grow exponentially pretty much daily. Anything that seems jacked up and wrong is all of a sudden being praised, and anything that's right and moral is being told to shut the up. It's just not even fun to live on this earth anymore. I mean, it's so jacked up that it's not even fun. So, whoa, whoops, hold on. There's a ambulance. Let me just pull over and let the ambulance by before I get smacked by it a second time. So yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I mean, it just really makes me wonder how much longer, God's going to have us, living here, because seeing what's going on in the world and seeing just all this stuff happen, and while it's exciting to see, the convergence of time frames, we're going from convergence of ages, going from the grace age into the tribulation. Seeing that convergence is exciting as a Christian. Your daily life is just, I mean, yeah, we have fun with friends and we have fun doing this or that, but I don't know, to me it's not, I don't enjoy being here on earth like I once did, and that was even after God got a hold of me, and I gave my heart to Him. So it's nothing like that. It's just so jacked up, and people are so crazy and doing just stupid shit. Yes, I'm going to call it that. I mean, it's stupid shit. That is, you just shake your head, going, I'm glad I got no kids of my own. I'm going to say that because I would not want them alive during this time. And I definitely would never want to bring kids into the world, seeing how they are now. Not saying anything bad to anybody who does. All power to you. Raise them good, raise them right. You got this. It's in the bag. Awesome. Good on ya. I personally don't. It's just too jacked up of a world. But I digress. What else is there? I know there are other things. Oh yes. I read today where priests this week from the Temple Institute in Israel practiced the twice daily sacrifice of a lamb. Little kids are getting killed all over stupid things, stupid ways, drive-bys, home invasions, kidnaps, and other just disgusting things I'm not even going to waste my breath even mentioning, because it's just so gross. It's people getting struck by stray bullets seem to be happening, more often as there's more violence being done, rioting, clashes. I read where people in Minneapolis had cornered or blocked some elected official in their driveway, and their extreme Black Lives Matters group, and wouldn't let her go until she signed saying she agreed with all their requests, and yada yada yada. I'm sitting here going, that's where we've gotten now, to where we think that's okay to treat elected officials, and I could care less what it identifies as or what it prefers, if you get my meaning. It's just, that's the hooligans that we're starting to incorporate. I mean, it's just so bizarre to me. You got athletes wanting to be on the U.S. team but protest the U.S. flag. Explain that logic to me. Explain how you want to represent your country in the Olympic Games but protest the flag. I mean, again, evil's called good, good's called evil, and evidently stupidity is called intelligence. So, you know, it's like that movie Idiocracy, except it's somehow becoming true, and that's the scary thing. Is somehow we're seeing Idiocracy maybe as a prophetic movie. I say that lightly, um, but it's just so stupid to me. And then, of course, you know, now that people are able to congregate and life going back to normal, and you don't have to wear a mask if you know, haven't gotten, or if you've gotten certain things, and now that people are nowhere near as concerned as they were a year ago, freaking out about um, sicknesses, I'll leave it at that. Now they're coming up, and how convenient that now we're starting to have a new variant, a D variant. I'll leave it at that. Timing seems impeccable. I don't know. It's just so dumb to me. It's just so. I better stop talking about it, because I'll end up getting this video deleted. But anyways, hopefully you know what it is that I'm talking about, and like me, hopefully you're not surprised by the move and all of a sudden the uptick and increase regarding this variant. And then, you know, now you got a company that's coming out saying, hey, you can get this nifty bracelet. It's got a QR code, and will deem and give all your information, show that you definitely got the cure. I'll say it that way. Obviously, it's not a cure, but you know what I'm talking about. And then there's upticks again about digital passport. You know, everything just. I've said this before in past in past videos. A conditioning tool. It's getting the world ready, and they're gobbling it up. They're yep, cool, yep. You know, I don't know. I don't know how people can be Christians and not see what's going on, as well as the heightened interest in Israel. I mean, world leaders, it seems all eyes are going on and going towards the Middle East, which is exactly what the Bible said, you know, and that's why I say keep your eyes on the Middle East. There's a lot going on. You know, I do not think it's any small thing that, as I mentioned before, the priests this week practicing the twice daily lamb sacrifice. You know, I think they are pushing and planning on having that very soon. Otherwise, why would you be going through those motions and yada yada yada? Have everybody picked out. Plus, you've got a government that swears they're going to do it. They're going to be the government to bring that third temple. You know, so I mean, everything's just coming to a head. And it's interesting to watch. So, I think those are the high. Oh, then you got the West Coast, you know, that are shattered heat records, you know, this week, and it doesn't look like it's going to. Well, it looks like it may be cooling off, and now the Northeast is going to be getting hammered with some heat waves, and then us in the South are probably going to get drenched with water. You know, it's just all that crazy, you know, weather, you know, and that's been the other thing, is just watching the weather around the world. Plus earthquakes and volcanoes. If you tap into sources on YouTube that actually monitor it, you'll see it's upticking very quickly, and weather patterns are getting, you know, just crazier and crazier. In fact, I saw we had a bad storm over where I lived, and I got my radar app. So I opened up the radar view, and kind of zoomed out so I could, more or less see the world. And it was like one storm kind of all connected together that stretched from where I live in Florida over Mexico, over the Pacific, and hit Africa. Stretched into Africa. I was like, damn, that's incredible. And then, of course, you got the Asia that was, getting hammered at the same time. No, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just craziness, okay? Craziness. But craziness means that the time is coming, closer. And I know that watchmen around are, saying it's any day, and I 100% agree. It could be any day. Plan for the rest of your life. Live each day like it's your last. Because one of these days we are going to hear that trumpet blast. 100% believe it. I believe it because I feel it, and I feel it. What I believe is because the Lord is trying to let Christians who are listening know time is running out. I know the 9th of Av is on the 17th of July, and that is important to Israel because both times that the first temple and second temple were destroyed happened on the same day. So for them, that day is like a day of doom and gloom, destruction of their prized temple, and then, brought on judgment that we know. For me, I really wonder, what's this 9th of Av going to bring them, Some think it could be the rapture because, like, the church or the temples were destroyed down to the foundation destroyed. Maybe God's going to remove the church, which brings on the foretold judgment on Israel. Or others are thinking it could be what the ushering in of the Gog and Magog, Isaiah 17, destruction of Damascus, and or the Ezekiel 38, Gog and Magog war, which would coincide with doom and gloom that Israel's associate that day with. We also, on the 9th of July, is a full moon. So a lot of people looking at the 9th possibly as a high watch time, as well as the 10th, which is the day after a new moon, as a high watch time. So, there's a lot of important stuff coming up, and a lot of things that people are watching. And I do think it's important that we bring it up and watch, because we've seen how every time that something important has come up, things have just clicked up a couple notches around the world, and things got crazier. I mean, we're living in a world where Putin says he's the last Christian world leader. Let that sink in. We actually have Putin claiming he's the last real Christian, believing God world leader there is today. That's where we are. So, I mean, you just kind of put all these things together along with everything else that we've discussed this year, and then you look how we started this year and how we are this year. I mean, it's nuts. It's crazy. And I really do think that we are getting close. So what does that mean for us? It means we keep watching. Keep watching, we keep waiting. But most importantly, we keep redeeming and occupying the time, because we're still here. We still have a chance to talk to friends. We still have a chance to talk to family that aren't saved, and just plant the seeds of the gospel. Hopefully God will grow those seeds before it's too late. But at the very least, worst case scenario, the seeds will be planted so that God can grow those seeds after the rapture. Because there's going to be a whole ton of people that once it happens, they're going to immediately know, and they're going to be remorseful. They're going to regret waiting and not taking the plunge. Others are going to be regretful that they doubted, and they are going to end up being probably the biggest advocates. I like to look up. So, yeah, I just want to give those updates. There's a lot. I'm sure there's others that I'm forgetting, and if so, I'm going to start writing these down so that I don't forget. But anyways, hope you all are doing well, and yeah, if we are still here, I'll see you on the next video.